what kind of behavior would you expect to happen in a secular town where God has been kicked out? Well, you're going to have things like a higher divorce rate. You're going to have much higher crime. You're going to have gang violence. You will have teen pregnancies. You will have things like drug and alcohol abuse. All these type of things increase in secular societies. That's historically accurate.
Said no historian ever. Let's take a look at some statistics. It's been widely reported that the number of people with no religious affiliation has increased significantly in the last few decades. According to the 2008 American Religious Identification Survey, the number of people who reported their religious preference as none rose from 8% in 1990 to 15% in 2008. Has this led to an increase in crime? Apparently not. Violent crime is down. Property crime is down. How about teen pregnancy rates? The CDC says the birth rate for U.S. teenagers fell 9% from 2009 to 2010 to 34.3 per 100,000, the lowest level ever reported in the 7 decades for which a consistent series of rates is available. According to Health and Human Services, in 2013, the teen birth rate went even lower to 26.5 per 100,000. Despite the decline of religion in America, teen pregnancy rates are currently the lowest that have ever fucking been reported.
Many of you remember when you didn't have to lock your doors at night, where families stuck together, where there was much less crime, where teenage pregnancies and drug and alcohol abuse and all those kinds of things were, they may have happened, but they were very rare.
Well, again, when it comes to teenage pregnancies, they've never been known to be rarer than they are today. But what about this wonderful era when people could leave their doors unlocked and not have to worry? I presume he's talking about the 1950s, so let's look at murder rates now compared to murder rates then. According to the FBI, in 1953, the homicide rate in the United States was 4.5 for every 100,000 people. 60 years later, in 2013, the homicide rate was 4.5 for every 100,000 people. Exactly the fucking same. The United States is just as safe a place now as it was in the 50s, despite the fact that it is a far less religious place than it was in the 50s. This guy talks as though he hasn't looked at a single fucking statistic since 1992. And when you look at states that are the most religious, they also tend to be the ones that have the worst teen pregnancy statistics. The most religious state is Mississippi. The state with the highest teen pregnancy rate is New Mexico, but number 2 is Mississippi. The most secular states are Vermont and New Hampshire, and the states with the lowest teen pregnancy rates? Vermont and New Hampshire. This should come as no surprise because these states are clearly 69ing each other, which is not the most effective way to get pregnant. Also, have you checked out the channel GodWorksOut? There's some cool stuff on that channel, link in the description.